Welcome to Forum 360. I'm Stephanie York, your host today. Thank you for joining us for a global outlook with a local view. In the studio today is vocalist, entertainer, producer, and band leader, the one and only Helen Welch. From Romper Room to Broadway, Helen has truly done and seen it all. We're here today to get a glimpse into her fast-moving and exciting career as a performer. If you've ever seen her on stage, you know her energy is boundless and her talent is extraordinary.
Wow.
Helen, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much. That was a nice introduction.
Yeah.
I like the romper room bit.
Well, I mean, romper room, where do you go from there?
I know.
Like,
I peaked very young.
I grew up with romper room.
Did you?
Yes, and I'm like, I saw that on your CV, and I was like, where does someone go from romper room? So tell us.
The only way was down.
Yeah, before we jump into your career, tell me a little bit about yourself, where you grew up, and all the background.
So I come from England, and I was born and bred in the southern part of England, brought up by Mum, who was a light opera singer, but she gave it up to have a family.
Okay.
My dad was a much older daddy, and he was in the army for 22 years. He served in the entire duration of the First World War. Oh, wow. Second World War. And then married my mum and had a family. So much older daddy, very good flamenco and jazz guitarist.
Wow.
So I was surrounded by music. There was a piano in the house. I thought everybody had a piano in their house. I thought everybody's mum sang.
So you grew up playing piano?
So I grew up playing the piano. I played the flute when I was 11. I got my teaching diploma on my flute by the time I was 17.
Wow.
So I was teaching flute at my own school, which made me really popular, not. And
you were a band geek.
Yeah, I was a music geek. But all I ever really wanted to do was sing, but I was too shy to tell anybody because my mum was a singer and I didn't sound like her.
Okay.
So and I tell this story in my shows actually, I would go and borrow her cassette tapes, take them into my bedroom, grab my hairbrush, and sing into my mirror.
You tried to imitate her?
No.
Or not?
No, she was a light opera singer, excuse me. But I didn't sing like that, so I actually thought I was a really bad singer. But I would sing along to Karen Carpenter, ABBA, everything, most pop music.
Sure.
You know? And I remember thinking, well, I can do this and I like this, but I'm too shy to tell anybody. And it took me a while.
And you're a performer. And you're shy. Are you still shy?
Yeah, I'm very much. I think people misunderstand the word introvert. Sure. But I'm very much an introvert. And really what that means is that I get my energy from being alone.
Okay.
So I love to go out on stage. I'm never happier than when I'm singing. I did Blossom with the orchestra. There was 20,000 people there.
Wow.
That is easy for me. But ask me to come to your house for a house party with 10 or 14 people. I would rather scoop my eyes out with spoons. I can't deal with that at all. We did have a house party once at our house.
Yeah.
And everybody arrived and I went upstairs, got into bed and put the duvet over my head.
Oh my gosh.
And my husband came upstairs and lifted it up. He said, "Are you all right?" And I said, "Yes."
So you're from England?
Yes.
Tell me about that. How long were you there? When did you come over?
Yeah, I moved here 22 years ago, 2003. I came out of Guildhall School of Music and did 10 years in musical theatre. I loved that. It was great training, but it wasn't for me. I didn't like being told what to sing, how to sing it, and what key to sing it in.
Sure.
So, and the beautiful thing about the music business is there's something for everybody. Some people love that. Mm-hmm. But I'm in the middle of singing the trolley song in Meet Me in St. Louis, and I'm thinking, I don't hear it like this. I hear it swinging with a big band and a lower key. And so I gave up musical theatre and said, I'm going to see if I can forge a career as a freelance vocalist. And it wasn't easy.
It's pretty risky.
Yeah, it was very hard. But I temped. So I've worked everywhere. You name the job, I've done it. Apart from serving tables, I've worked in car showrooms, real estate agents, because when you're resting, you need to earn some money.
Sure.
But I started to develop my own shows. I started singing. I sang with the BBC Big Band, with Glenn Miller Europe, freelance doing music for movies, for commercials, and just started doing everything. And that's what I love. I love the variety of being able to do
Very
different
cool.
things.
So I got to take you back. Romper Room. How did that come about? When did that, how did that come about?
I was 4, three, nearly 4.
Yeah.
And my mum put me in for whatever the audition was. I can't even remember.
Yeah.
But what I do remember is the night before the first filming. And I polished my blue shoes because, I remember getting a cloth and making sure they were shiny.
Sure.
Isn't that funny what you
Yes.
remember? And then I remember getting to the set, and I'd watched it on television, of course, many times, but I didn't really comprehend that I was on television.
Sure.
And I remember wanting, there was these blow-up clowns, and if you punch them, and they would come back.
Sure.
Well, I wanted to play with those,
Yeah.
but we didn't get those on that day. We had the cars.
Okay.
We had to stand.
In the cars.
But the thing I remember most is that the children rolled out a carpet, and we used to sit on the carpet, and Miss Rosalind, who it was in England, would sit in a chair, and then a special child got asked to ask the music man to play.
Okay.
And I'm very shy. I'm
Yes.
sitting there going, don't ask me, don't ask me, don't ask me. And she went, Helen,
Oh.
would you like to ask the music man to play? And I said, no, thank you.
Oh my gosh.
And the director said, cut. And they had to cut. My mum went, oh no, she'll never be on the stage.
Yeah.
And the rest is history.
The rest is history. So, was your mom involved in your career at all?
Not really. She was a very busy mother of 3.
Okay.
And I think whenever any child says to their parents, I'm going to be a singer, mummy, their toes curl.
Sure.
And they think, yeah, right. Of course you are.
Sure. Especially since she was a singer.
Right.
She knows how hard it is to get into the business, and really just a select few actually make it.
Yes. And it's funny because I went to England in August and we were sitting chatting, and she said to me, I'm so happy you took the road you took, because I couldn't do it. I had a family and I had to give it up.
Wow.
And you could see there was a little melancholy there,
Sure.
and I'm really happy I did it, because it did take a while. I didn't, I was just, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the
Sure.
right thing? So, no, they didn't really get involved other than come to shows. And
it's not like overnight you become a star.
No.
Like they say, right?
yeah, you're working very hard.
It's a lot of work.
And when you're not singing, you're working in a car showroom, or you're working in a real estate agent, and then there's so many rejections. I always say to my students, you have to be, if you want to go into this business, you have to specialize in rejection.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because you'll go to 100 auditions and you might get 1.
So what brought you to the United States?
Oh, it's a Hallmark movie. Are you ready? I was singing in the French Alps.
Yes.
I used to go out there in the winter and sing in a really nice hotel there and get a free skiing holiday. And I'd sing with the jazz band in the evening.
Okay.
And I could sing for as long as I wanted and stay in the hotel and then ski all day. It was lovely. And one day, two American guys came in, and you didn't see Americans in the French Alps.
Sure.
And so they said hi, and I said hi. And the following year, I went back, ski season, different time of year, walked into the hotel, and there they were again. And they said, come and have dinner with us. So I did. And I met Doug, and we had a holiday romance. And I went back to London, and he came back to Ohio. And 10 weeks later, he arrived in London.
Oh,
10
wow.
weeks later, I came here, and we started doing that until he asked my dad for my hand in marriage.
Oh, wow.
Dude,
It was
yeah,
a love story. So you came here for love.
So yeah, it was that who moves where? Because he would have been happy to move to England, but I have huge faith, and a big full stop happened. I was working with a musical director who was a very dear friend. There was a terrible car accident, and he got killed.
Oh, wow.
And it was devastating, and I stopped singing for a while, but it was a huge full stop, and it was a huge, this way now, Helen.
Okay.
And I said, I'd like to move here. It was really interesting because didn't feel like a tough decision, but I literally cut my career off.
Right.
Moved
And
here.
did you move to Ohio?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So from
London.
I mean, you could go anywhere in the United States. You picked Ohio.
Yep.
That's because that's where Doug was from?
Doug was here, and I loved it here. I like the quiet.
Yeah.
I like the space we have. Nobody can see the house.
Sure.
You know, it feeds my need to be alone.
Sure.
And actually, this is the most incredible area for the arts.
It is pretty darn good, isn't it?
You know, sometimes being a big cog in a small wheel pays enormous dividends.
Sure.
And Ohio just embraced me. I still look back and I pinch myself because I've sung with the Cleveland Orchestra at Blossom. I've sung at the Akron Civic. I've produced 7 shows for Playhouse Square.
Unbelievable.
You know, the Akron Symphony Orchestra, the Cleveland Pops Orchestra. And
We
from
love
that,
you.
I love you, you know. I've had these amazing opportunities that if I'd have moved to New York, I probably never would have had.
Right.
And as a result, has given me all these incredible opportunities around the United States.
Have you done shows in New York?
Oh, yeah. I sang on Broadway with Smokey Joe's Cafe. I have not, we've done New York State, but I have not taken, that's our next goal, really, is to take the show we just did at Severance Hall.
Okay.
My goal would be to take it to Carnegie Hall.
You hear that, Carnegie Hall?
Whilst you still can afford us.
Right, right. Do you miss the UK?
That's a great question. When I go back, I really get excited about going home. Then I get there, and after about 4 days, I'm ready to come home. So this is home now. And there are things I love about England, the typography, you know, the history, the buildings, the culture, the humor is probably the thing I miss the most.
Right.
Because it's very edgy.
Yes.
And very sarcastic.
Yes.
And I had to really wind that back here as an entertainer. Otherwise, I see my comments just sail across the audience's heads and go out the back door.
Right.
So luckily, my husband has that same sense of humor, which is great. And I miss some of the pastries.
Okay.
You know, some of the food.
Sure.
But this is home.
Good.
Yeah.
We're glad. So I'd like to remind our viewers and those who may have joined late that we are here with singer and performer Helen Welch. We are discussing her exciting career, where she starred in musicals as a vocalist for several orchestras on Broadway. She is also a regular here, performing at the Cleveland's Playhouse Square, the Akron Civic Theater, at Blossom, the Chautauqua Institution, among others. So let's continue. Did you always want to perform?
Yes. I remember being 3 years old, Mum saying, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And I said, "I want to be a singer, Mummy." And there was never any doubt in my mind. I had no idea how it was going to happen.
Right.
I was a useless student at school.
Yeah.
So I went to a small school, high school. We went to high school at 11 in those. That's England, 11 or 12. And I sailed around the bottom 7 in the class for every subject. And I wasn't an ornery, disobedient child or anything like that. But I really wasn't worried.
Yeah.
Because I knew. And I went to my first music class at high school when I was 11.
Right.
And the music teacher, Mr. Morris, who was amazing, said, "I'm going to play a tune on the piano and I want you to write it down." And I thought, well, that's easy. And I remember everybody else in the class going, "Well, she's not very smart. How on earth?" I remember them all looking at me and I'm going, "What?" You know? So I knew it was going to happen. I just didn't know how.
So you're not just a performer, though. You teach.
Yeah.
Right? Look at that. I mean, yeah. I mean, you can see the love just come out of you. Tell me about your teaching career.
I taught the flute at my own school, and I enjoyed it. And I never thought I was going to teach singing. Mm-hmm. But in 2008, I began, and I love it. I have over 2/3 of my students are adults, which is wonderful. Some of them are professionals. I've taught some very troubled young people. Sure. I've had people who self-harm, and they came to singing lessons and they stopped.
Wow.
I've had an amazing story of a young girl who had Asperger's, and her parents dropped her off sort of, you know, entertain her for half an hour kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And I told her, don't let anybody tell you can't do anything. And she stayed with me from the age of 9 through to when she left. and got into Kent State.
Wow.
And she graduated from Kent State with music.
That's
and
amazing.
She called me and said, Miss Helen, can I take you out for lunch?
Wow.
You know, because she said nobody believed in me. So I don't know. It's really good for my soul. I love it.
Where do you teach at?
At the Hudson School of Music.
Yep.
Right here in Hudson. And I have now about 27 students.
Wow.
So it's really hard work because when you teach, you are on.
And what kind of music do you teach?
Yeah, great question. So I teach Broadway, musical theater, jazz, pop, blues, song styling, which is taking a song and being a spectacular Helen rather than trying to copy.
Oh, sure.
Adele.
Making it your own.
Right, learning how to change a song and make it your own.
Wow.
How to use mic techniques, how to talk to the audience, how to introduce songs.
So really how to perform.
Everything to do with how to, most teachers, one of the reasons I started teaching was there was nobody out there to show me that. You know, most singing teachers teach the technical aspects of singing, but you can't just sit there and go, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, you have to bring the face to the party, as I say to my students, and I love it because when they start, they'll often do that. So I say, if you sing like that, it's a bit like me going, hello, Stephanie, it's really nice to meet you. What did you do this weekend?
Right.
Really? And then they laugh and then they understand. And seeing them, one of my singers won the Best Actress for the Dazzle Awards.
Really?
This year, Mira.
Oh my gosh.
So I was super proud of her. Greer got nominated. I've had students on American Idol, and they're all over the country now doing amazing things.
Is your husband a performer?
No.
What does he do? And does he follow you around on your travels?
There's only room for one entertainer in every family, one artistic temperament.
Yeah.
But he's very artistic.
Okay.
So he's my best critique.
Good.
He sits in the audience with a set list. I give him a set list every show.
Very
even
good.
to this day. And he writes his feedback on the set list. And but he makes beautiful furniture, so he's very artistic.
Oh, wow.
And he used to be in a band called Big Wow. It was a punk band, so I stole his band name. So my company is now called Big Wow Productions. And it's funny because I get asked, as I go tour around the United States, I often get asked, do you bring your husband with you? And I say, do you take your husband to work with you? No. No. And that it takes a very special person.
Sure.
I never thought I would get married because I never thought I would meet a man who could handle the fact that I tour with men.
Right. Correct.
All around the country. But we tend to go out and come home. We go out and come home.
Yeah.
I don't want to sing 8 shows a week for 7 weeks. That's not what I do. So, we go to Michigan. We might do 2 or 3 shows. We come home.
Very good.
And he'll tell you that I'll get to the airport. And the first call I make at the airport is to him, and I say, I'm missing you already.
Aww.
But no, he's an enormous support system.
That's great.
And very secure about me being away.
Yeah, 2 of you would be like a little crazy, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right. You have a lot of fun when you perform.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So my mom and Dad just went to your show and said, you are fantastic, that your stories are great. Does it ever get old?
That's a great question. When I was doing musical theater, yes, capital letters, which is why I left. Because I was in Barnum, the circus musical, playing Charity Barnum, and I walked out on stage, and I was supposed to sing, May the 7th, 1851. I still remember the line.
Yeah.
God knows how many years ago it was. And I walked out on stage and went, I left my clothes in the dryer. And I suddenly heard the musical director singing my first line, because I was somewhere else.
Yeah.
I was so
You knew it was time.
bored, and I knew it was time. But with my shows, because I've produced them, I'm in control of what I sing.
Awesome.
That Carpenter's show your mum and dad came to,
Yes.
I've been touring that since 2017.
Wow.
And I still love every second of it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So tell me the shows. You're doing the Carpenters. What are you doing right now?
So this week we are doing a new show we produced I've been doing it for a long time, but I reproduced it, called The First Ladies of Song.
And that is?
So I tip my hat to some of the women that have made an unforgettable impact on the music business. Now, you could be there for 3 days, tipping your hat to all of them. So I've tried to run them through the filter that they had a first. For example, we do Whitney Houston. She had the biggest selling single in history
voice.
by a female artist. Yeah, those are big shoes to fill. We do Carole King, the most successful female songwriter of the latter half of the 20th century. We do Cyndi Lauper. You might not expect her, but she won a Tony Award for writing the best original score for Kinky Boots, the first woman to win the award on her own. Streisand.
Barbra Streisand. Boy,
Biggest-
what a range of vocals.
Yeah, I have to have a good night's sleep before this show.
Yeah, no kidding.
Petula Clark, Dusty Springfield, Aretha Franklin. So
what's next?
Patsy Cline. That's that. There's no place like home for the holidays is coming up. It's rearing its head over the horizon. But I'm doing a big band holiday shows. We're doing E.J. Thomas Hall with Carpenter's Christmas.
Awesome.
I'm doing big band Jingle Bell Swing in Warren. We're going to Michigan with Carpenter's Christmas. And then I'm going to lie down in a very dark room and rest for a minute or two.
So for some of us who have never heard you sing, you want to give us a little preview of something?
Oh, my God. What shall I sing?
No.
You make me feel like a natural woman. How's that?
Wow, that's pretty darn good. Wow. So you're on the road a lot.
Yes.
How do you take care of yourself?
Oh, my manager will tell you this. I have a very strict regime.
Okay.
So
Probably have to.
yes, when I like to drive myself. I don't want to talk because talking is tiring for the voice. I go to bed early. I don't eat anything acidic the night before a show. No tomatoes, no orange juice, no lemons. I go to bed early. I get up the morning of a show. My band will tell you I go for a long walk, and I go through the entire show, top to toe.
Wow.
But I will have done that at least 9 times before the show.
Like out loud, go through it, or to yourself in your
A
head?
bit of both.
Yeah.
And even though I've toured the Carpenter shows for 8 years, I still went through it probably 30 times before I did Severance Hall.
Wow.
From start to finish. Every word I say, every note I sing.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I will do that the morning of the show, and then, shower. I have plenty of time to get ready. I can't eat much. Bananas, a granola bar.
Nerves? Do you get nervous?
No, I can't. I just can't. No, I don't get nervous. I can't eat and sing.
Okay.
Do I get adrenaline? Yes.
Excited?
Yes. And I always say to my students, because when they say, "Oh, I'm so nervous," or "I'm so scared," I say, let's change that word to excited.
Yeah.
It's much more positive. So for Severance, I definitely had some adrenaline. And when I walked out on stage, because I was singing on my home turf, the love in the auditorium was palpable, and I actually wanted to cry.
Oh.
I did, because you could just feel it wrapping itself around me, giving this big hug, and I had to go, 2 and 2 is 4, 4 and 2 is 8. 8 and 2
Ground yourself.
The only way I can not cry is do math. 10 and 2 is 12. And then I went, sing a song, because I didn't want to go, sing. It's just so, So yes, I then get ready, and I don't eat much, and then we sound check, and I remind myself how blessed I am to do what I love for a living.
Having said that, if you could change one thing in your life right now, what would it be?
I would like a little more time for Helen.
Sure.
Yes. I have a
think
horse, a
normal.
pony, and she helps me switch off because I have to go take care of, I have somebody who takes care of her for obvious reasons, but I try and get there as many times a week as I can, and that forces me to switch off, but I would like to not always be clock watching.
Sure.
Yes.
And if someone young wants to break into this business, what suggestions do you have?
Give me a call.
Yeah.
You have to be prepared to work extremely hard.
Right.
And you have to be prepared to not give up. and you have to be prepared to take criticism from people. Don't surround yourself with yes people.
Sure.
You have to be prepared to make changes.
Well, even your husband critiques you.
Every time. My motto is, you're only as good as your last show.
Sure.
So if you can make a change, yeah.
Would you choose this career again?
Yes, without
I can
doubt.
tell.
Yeah.
I can tell. You just ooze how much fun you're having.
Yeah.
Any regrets?
Oh, gosh. I wish I knew then what I know now.
Right?
But not really. You know, I was talking to my mum about this in August and saying, you know, I wished I'd done some things earlier. I wished that I hadn't done musical theatre. But actually, when I look back, all those things made me the performer and the person I am today.
Sure.
So not really, no.
Very good. So thank you, Helen.
Thank you for having me.
For such a wonderful conversation today. It's been a joy getting to know you better, and I'm sure our viewers loved learning more about your incredible journey too. I'm Stephanie York. Thank you for joining us on Forum 360, where we bring you a global outlook with a local view. Until next time.
Forum 360 is brought to you by John S. and James L. Knight Foundation, the Akron Community Foundation, Hudson Community Television, the Rubber City Radio Group, Shaw Jewish Community Center of Akron, Blue Green, Electric Impulse Communications, and Forum 360 supporters.